Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RFL Season 11 around Australia. We are tonight, I think 14 drivers, pretty sure. Plus minus. Somebody maybe will look into that in a few minutes, just making sure that everything is working correctly. Quickly copy this
And so,
send.
we are located at Australia.
Yep.
And
Indeed.
so is the real life F1 this weekend. Is that on purpose? Very much so. See, we've got big brains and we plan things ahead. We have the big brains.
Yep, I agree. There you go. I think people are starting to ready up pretty soon. Have a little slight delay. You have the usual suspects here in the comms box. Myself, Angelo, once again. And we're joined by Cal tonight. He's back
Hello there.
from wherever he was last week.
I was
glad to have you here again.
in a place that is next to the sea.
Which is everywhere in the UK. Basically.
Well, it was on the west coast. I'll give you guys that much. I was on the west coast.
On the western coast of the United Kingdom. But hey, today we have a few fun facts also coming your way during the race. Just during qualifying.
That's very exciting stuff there. I am on the edge of my seat as to what you may provide us with.
We're just waiting just a little bit for people to get in and ready up. Always takes a little while to get ready. Obviously, like you said, Cal, RFL is around Australia, just like the real life season. That's gonna be fun tomorrow, seeing people wake up at 4 a.m. your time, 5 a.m. my time.
Yes, I mean I would wake up, but I don't have any means to actually watch it, so
yeah, you've told me that.
that's a bit sad, but yeah.
At least you get to sleep.
But it's just like the most fun about Australia is like waking up early for it. That's the whole nostalgic shebang that it's got, you know.
Oh yeah, I remember waking up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. back when Australia was the opening round of the season. But hey, the host has readied up, which means we'll be going soon. Just a few seconds left until we get into the lobby and get right into the action. Australia, an interesting circuit, very tricky. It's been made a bit easier to pass. Obviously, you know, since 2022. We've had these new track changes, like a removal of chicane, widening of corners, making the radius a little bit wider, just to make space available and add to the overtaking opportunities. It's wet in Australia, something you don't usually see. Exciting stuff right from the get-go. I don't know if you can see this, Carl. I think you're still loading, but we do have
you found that out about 3 seconds before I did, so that's always great.
Cheers. So
the perks of still having a like many years old console. I've lost count how old it is by this point, but
almost
anyway,
10 years old, I think. Pretty much 10 years old next year.
Probably is.
I'm just checking up the stream if we got our audios in. Yep.
So
sounds good. Cal?
Someone is the first on track.
Yep, we're on
it
on
is
stream. We can hear you fine.
The Williams car at number 99, Mr. Clumby, who is first on track.
Ooh, Lord James going out on track. But obviously the first contract is the Williams, so we are indeed in full wet conditions. We've not had that in real life in quite a while. Full wet conditions in a race. I think that was, when was the last time? 2014 qualifying? Was that the last time we had a full wet session? In either quality or race. I think we had practice. Rain in practice. In one of the latest seasons. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. But wet quality around Australia.
Oh, a big slide there from Mr. Tom Gorian coming out of turn 1 there. That was spectacular, actually.
Trying to get some heat into those tyres. Columby is going to start his lap pretty soon. As we have a yellow flag. One of the Aston Martins, I think, has done some shenanigans. We're going to be
just
on board.
went off the track a bit there.
We're going to be on board with Clumby to set the first lap. First lap of the session. We've got a new camera. We're trying on a new camera angle for today. A mix of classic and modern F1 onboard cameras. Just to try it out. Because it is Australia. And Australia's been on the calendar since 1996. Almost 30 years almost. Holy Jesus. Makes me feel old. Damn.
Yeah.
Right, 3 turn 1, turn 2, very tricky in these kind of conditions, but it does seem to be able to cope with it pretty good. Into turn 3, which we've had many calamities happen in previous seasons, in real life and in the game RFL as well. Through the tricky right-hander, which we've seen quite a few crashes around here as well. In real life, Alex Albon he's going through the Alex Albon corner. Really likes this corner, does Albon?
Crashing. Yeah, he's obviously a very controversial thing has happened this weekend.
Indeed, with the Williams. Yeah. Into the fast left-right chicane he goes. Let's see how he gets it done. It's very tricky. The curb on the outside can kill your, can destroy your floor or your wing. We've seen that with Guan Yu Zhou in real life. Losing half of his wing simply because he rode that curb very hard. That one of the new corners there, 90 degrees. Widened up and into the final 2 corners he goes. Quite wide there, hitting the curb. You don't usually want to run that wide. 3rd gear on exit. I would say open the DRS, but obviously it's wet conditions, so that's not allowed unless you're Kimi Raikkonen. Lord James is coming up behind him. I think one of the Aston Martins, Vesper Jupiter, I think. No, K-Tarrier was. It's the Alpine who goes provisional pole, but that gets snatched away almost instantaneously by Lord James. The next person to set a lap is Deaton, as Dr. Mo has already retired. Who's the next driver setting a lap? I think it's Kozlesko. Moving into the final corner, the McLaren he missed last week is back for this weekend. Let's see what kind of lap time he's going to put on the table. And he goes 3rd fastest with a 1:39.998. Vesper Jupiter is going back into the pits. Tom Gorian, the other Alpine, about to finish setting his lap time. He's very slidey, slidey on the final corner. On exit, he saves it, but obviously his lap time is going to take a massive hit from that. Who else do we have? We have Junior Correa 184, I think making his first appearance this weekend. Never heard of the guy. Let's see what kind of lap time he puts on, and it's 3rd fastest at the moment. So good lap time, very tidy. Looks like
yeah,
it
obviously
was.
Competed a little bit last season in the Tier 2 Championship, and yeah, obviously has made a return for this season.
All right. Good to see him. Don't remember him. So good showing today. If he was like from tier 2 going now into obviously we only have 1 tier, but already bringing the fights up to guys like Kozlesko, K-Tarrier, and actually Deaton sets a faster lap time, goes up to 3rd. We're watching Vapid right now. Let's go on board with the Mercedes man. Get this nice onboard shot. Just switching up things a little bit, see what people think. There's a car moving off to the side nicely into the... Ooh, runs a little bit wide there, but it does keep it on track. Now, right-hander again. Into the final 2 corners. Does he run wide? He runs wide. Ooh, he runs really wide there. Couldn't get the car stopped the way he wanted to, but he's still going to continue with it. Setting a lap time is better than not setting any. Let's see where that puts Vapid. It's 6th place still, so even with that mistake, it's still a P6 for the Mercedes man. Kirby just sets a lap time and moves up to 8th place, 32.765. Obviously, some of these guys can still improve quite a bit. Tom Gorian and Vapid did make mistakes on their laps towards the end there, so they obviously have quite a big margin of improvement, I like to think. With this menu, you can actually see the tire temps and fuel that people are running as Lord James sets another lap. A blistering lap time from the man in the Haas, 29.8. He's the only one in the 29s, and over a second quicker than Kay Tarrier in second. So James already having lots of fun here in qualifying in these kind of conditions.
Yeah, is that maybe a sign that the track's drying up a little bit, or is that just an absolutely mad time from the Haas driver? We'll soon find out.
Yeah, I think that's that may be just him having more fuel in his previous run, because it didn't look like he pit. Don't remember seeing him pit, so he most likely had more fuel on the car to try another lap. Obviously, full wet conditions, you don't use as much ERS as you usually would. Plus, doing 1 or 2 laps. Doing 2 laps actually does help quite a bit. Who else do we have? Do we have Correa? Correa is a thing. Yep. I think he's starting another lap. Let's go on board with him, actually. Let's follow his car. Let's see what he does. He is on a lap, I think.
Fisichella just going into P7 there with a 32.0.
Third gear. Short shift there, just a little bit. Trying to get nice amount of grip. Ooh, I think he just nudged the grass there a little bit. That's all obviously this is a sort of old style circuit. There is a lot of grass on the outside of corners, so braking on the grass is just gonna send your car off road for the corner you're braking for. So tricky, very tricky. As Vespa Jupiter
for Vespa Jupiter. He goes onto the front row provisionally with a 1:30.2. Oh, that was almost a crash there, but just well avoided. And yeah, I think Kirby has chosen the intermediate tyres. So maybe the track is indeed drying up a little bit here.
It looks pretty wet still, and it's raining quite heavily, so maybe Kirby trying something different to see, is it actually better? If you look at the deltas, they have the deltas at their disposal. They can look as Junior Correa moves back up into 3rd place.
Lord
a very
James.
good tidy lap.
Also selecting inters as well, so maybe it's going to be intermediate conditions towards the end of the session.
Could be, and that's going to be an interesting factor to take in. Whoever starts the lap as the last driver to cross the line. If you want to cross the line with a few seconds to go, just barely like 2-3 seconds left of the session. If you want to really cut it close, like you said, a couple of drivers selecting the intermediates. Vapid is selecting the intermediate.
Yeah, there's a few drivers toying with it, but I think Lord James has gone out on another set of full wet tyres, so I don't think he is gone for that decision at the moment, at least. Maybe
James indeed is, yeah. He is indeed.
Yeah, maybe just having a feeler again on those tyres. Yeah, a few drivers in the pits toying with the idea, and Vapid has come out on the inters. He's the first driver to do so as well, so let's see how he gets on.
Obviously, he's going to be one to watch. We'll go on board with him as soon as he starts his lap, but there's a yellow flag. I think one of the Alfa Romeos has done something. May have been Correa. Running a little bit wide at one of the corners, obviously in his in lap. Now I like to think he's on his in lap, unless he's got more fuel in the car. But indeed he is going into the pits, so no more fuel. I think he just ran out there barely. Wow, James is sliding into his drift. He's Tokyo drifting into that corner. That was a nice drift there. It was a reverse entry drift almost. Oh, look at him. He's still drifting into corners. So, is he pitting in? Yes, he is. He is. He is going into the pits.
Having a little bit of fun there. But EBI is approaching the line here. And stays 13th.
Remains in 13th place. Dr. Mo not setting a lap time. He's out. Tom is in the pits. Vapicoot is on his outlap. Vapicoot in the Mercedes. Now going through the final corner. Let's go on board with him. Let's see how he fares with these intermediate tires. Still in quite treacherous conditions in my eyes still. Let's see. Still has some decent amount of grip through that.
Yeah, we'll soon see with the sector times shortly as EBI has retired. Soon see whether this is a good decision or not. Comes across to the first sector and he's going quicker by 4/10 as Vapicoot, so it does look
tires seem to be, yeah. Tires seem to be working for the Scotsman in the Mercedes. What kind of straight line speed is he going to reach? 312? 312. So still pretty high amount of top speed there for wet conditions. So obviously I think we're going to have a dry race in this case. Going for a slower downforce setup.
Yeah,
to the final,
slightly quicker through the middle sector, so it's going to be.
I think he was on the grass there a little bit.
That's where it counts.
Was on the grass a little bit. Does he get this corner right this time? That's where he's going to find the most amount of improvement. But
he's
no,
gone into the pits.
He aborts his lap and into the pits he goes. Maybe still not. Maybe he realized it's still not tires. Still not the right tires to be on, even though many people are actually on intermediates. It's James as well. James is on intermediates too. Maybe they are the right tires.
Producers also around about 4/10 of a second quicker through the first sector. So
he's starting to set up purple. Yeah, he's set a purple lap.
So going potentially at provisional pole position here at the end of this lap time.
Provisional pole position does sound good for Vespa Jupiter in the Aston Martin. Yeah, you can see he's got quite a nice amount of grip through the for the chicane there. Let's see, final sector gets the car turned in quite aggressively, so car does grip up. Good enough. Still treacherous conditions. He slides into the corner. Doesn't run wide. Like he looked like he was gonna go. Over the line, does go provisionally in pole position with a 129.079. Lord James is on his lap. We'll follow him as well. You can see he's carrying a lot of speed. He's half a second up. Oh, and he's invalidated. He has invalidated his lap time. Should have enough fuel, I think, to do another lap. So just quickly recharge the ERS and go for another lap. Almost immediately. But still, it seems pretty wet out there. Even for intermediate, still looks quite wet. But obviously,
a little bit of a mistake into turn 3 from Tom Gordon, who finds himself down in P11 and yeah, is on his lap on the intermediate tyres. First sector is looking 7/10 off in his time. He still needs more time to improve.
obviously Tom said Tom's lap time is from the beginning of the session where he had a horrendous tank slapper on the exit of the final corner. So definitely going to find a lot of time to improve that final bit of the track.
Yeah, if you look on the track map, most of the drivers are in the same sort of area of the circuit, so there could be some traffic for a few drivers here.
He almost reverse drifted into there. He was sliding and slipping all over the place into the entry of that corner. Gets a nice turning. Oh, he slides again. He just doesn't have the grip on that final turn, does he? Does improve, does go third fastest, and it could be a much better lap time. Tom can do a lot better than that. Let's see if he goes for another one, because you think he's got enough ERS to go for another lap. And I think he's got enough fuel as well, because it's not flashing. That usually means he does have a little bit of extra fuel on board. Because intermediates usually tend to work even better on their second lap in succession. Grip up a
Lord
bit
James
better.
is 8/10 up through the second sector, so it's going to be very close indeed. As he comes around the final corner, whether or not he's going to take
he slides as well.
Bit of a slide. He's going to come across the line. Where's this going to put him?
28-2, provisional pole position for the man in the Haas. Lord James sets provisional pole position as Deaton goes over the line. I think Fisichella is the... No, it's Junior Correa goes 5th, improves his time a little bit. Is Vapid on a lap? Vapid is on a lap. He's at 1.1 seconds up as Lord James retires from the session because he does not have any more time to... Oh, he goes second quickest. Kirby's coming up behind and... wait, no.
Tom Gordian, next driver's across the line.
Tom has had a bit of a better exit. Moves up to 5th place. Who else is still on a lap? Keitaria is still on a lap. He's the next one who's going to cross the finish line. The session is over. Now, so everyone's finishing their lap. If they're not finished already, the ones with the checkered flag obviously have already crossed the line when the session ended. Keitaria has a very nice exit through that final corner. Very stable. Where does he put himself? In P4 with a 29.135. Fisichella sets a lap time. He remains where he started, where he qualified already. Deaton crosses the line, moves up to 4th place, so he jumps Keitaria. Junior Correa, next up on the line. He goes 3rd fastest at 29.050. Kozlesko's up next. Where does he go? He goes 3rd fastest with a 28.780. Wait, who's the next car? Kirby over the line. It doesn't improve. Oh no, wait, that's his AI. He's still driving, I guess.
Yep,
Don't know why.
That's everyone across the line. And this is your grid.
So we have Lord James confirmed on pole position, retains after a pretty stellar lap there, even though he wasn't right at the end of the session. He said it with 2 minutes to go, I think, 1 minute and a half. A lot of drivers started the laps after him. So James on pole. Vapakut recovers nicely and puts himself in 2nd place on the front row. Very close behind him is Kozlesko in the McLaren with a 28.780. Junior Correa, I think his first race in Tier 1, so per se. Nicely done, 4th place. Vespa Jupiter close behind in 5th. Deaton and Keitaria and Tom also very close to each other at 6th, 7th and 8th respectively. Jenny, I don't know how to spell his name, J25. In 9th, Fisichella in 10th, Clumby in 11th, Kirby in 12th, and EBI and Dr. Mo round off the final 2 spots on the grid. And now we wait for a couple of minutes before we get the green light to go into the formation lap. And in the meantime, Cal, are you ready? Do you have the championship standings at hand? As we do have a dry race indeed.
Oh,
Quite
I
sunny, like we
can
usually
very
have.
swiftly get them up. I also need to sort another quick thing out as well. So, a couple of moments and I'll be ready with the standings as I make sure my phone doesn't die.
Right, so from last week, obviously, we've seen a couple of penalties and stewarding decisions being made. Vapaku did inherit the win last week after Colonel Panic got disqualified, I think, for safety car infringements. Plus,
Oh no,
Panic was
Colonel
also
Panic
missing.
finished in P4 last time out.
Also, no, Deton won the race, but penalties demoted him away from the top of the podium, which means Vapid inherited the win. Tom managed to finish 5th, I believe,
Yep, that's correct. Yes, yes.
thanks to Panic's disqualification. And James did have a very good final part of that race as well. He finished in 8th place or 7th. I'm not too sure. I think that was 8th was before he got before Panic got disqualified. So,
Panic was fourth. Panic was fourth. He wasn't disqualified. You're thinking
uh-huh.
of another driver that got disqualified.
Oh yeah, safety car infringement.
So, anyway, drivers' standings. So, in top spot we have a Mr. Tom Gordon leading the way on 117 points. Lord James is in second on 109 points, with Vapidkut in third on 97. Then it is Scott in fourth on 60 points. Then Kezlesko and Deton, the two McLaren drivers, are in fifth and sixth on 58 and 54. Then it's Sigma Alonso on 53. Then it's back to the reigning champion S4 Finns, who is on 37 points, down in 8th position. And then P9 is WF1 Physical, he's on 30 points, with Colonel Panic 28. In 11th it's So Fresh, who's on 27. And then in 12th and 13th it's the two Williams drivers of Colby and Dr. Mo, who are on 24 and 22 points. Then it is Inns on 17. Tim Kirby is on 16. Then it is Vesper Jupiter on 15. Then it's Mr. Mac Attack on 10. On 9 points, it is Skullkiller, Dark, Sabi, and LTK Tanya. Then on 7 points, it is EBI and myself. And then on one singular point, it is Star Cracks. So there
Thank you
is
for the
your
rundown.
drivers' standings.
Cheers, Cal. Thank you for the quick rundown of the championship standings at the moment. So I think already scenes happening in the RFL chat. Apparently, Joel James retiring on track apparently impeded his AI. Apparently impeded TRC Deton, and who expressed his frustrations. So we'll have that. So we already have calamities happening. So we'll have that sent in. Possibly already a ticket, but we'll leave that to the stewards afterwards. We'll see what happens. We'll see, but already something not going the right way for James, perhaps in the future. Many people starting on the mediums. A couple of splashes of white hard tires and a red soft for Keitaria, as we indeed go into the formation lap quite quickly. So there you go. That's the tires for you. So the top 4 start on mediums. 5th place Vesper Jupiter starts on hards. Deton on mediums. Keitaria on the softs. A really aggressive strategy from the get-go. Tom Gorian is on mediums. J25 on the hards. and the rest, with the exception of Kirby, are all on mediums. Kirby starting on the hard tires, trying something different there. He's starting at the back, so he's gonna have he's gonna have his work cut out for him. He wants to do well today, and I think he will. I have a good feeling for Kirby tonight. I think he's gonna do great. I have a feeling. Drivers warming up the tires. So again, Australia, Melbourne, one actually very tricky track, because it's got a little bit more straight line speed requirements. So it requires a slightly lower downforce dependent setup just to be competitive on the quite few fast bits and straights this track has, as well as good braking. All the changes this track have been made on is to improve overtaking opportunities, increase the overtaking opportunities, and give us more spectacle, as James is going through the final 2 corners. Very quick formation lap from the man in the Haas, lining his car up in pole position in a few short seconds. You can see nice shot of the cars in the background doing their warm-ups, trying to get heat into the tires. But if I could get a better camera angle game, it would be very appreciated, as Vespa Jupiter doesn't hit his box correctly. Hopefully they fix this for next year's game, or this year's game. The ones that are coming out at the end of May. So, unfortunately, we'll have to lick this from behind, as the RFL Australia Grand Prix is underway now. Here we go. I can't see anything because the camera angles are bad. Here you go. Lord James still stays in the lead. Vapid moves into second still, as Kislesko has a good start there. Junior Correa remains in 4th place. We have cars going already side by side. Around the outside goes Tom. Does he make it? He backs out of it, but the other Alpine, his teammate, is still in front. Oh God, look at Tom getting swallowed up by the field behind him. But other than that, I think we're out pretty clean. Oh, look at that. One of the Rebels has run wide. I think that was Jenny, or J25, going side by side with his teammate into the chicane. Clean so far, as one of the Williamses is trying to have a look around the outside. Oh, they make contact there at the front a little bit, but they get through. There's almost a spin there from the Aston Martin. Vespa Jupiter has lost quite a few places there on the start. But so far so good. James already streaking away into the distance, with Vapakut still remaining in 2nd place. Kislesko in 3rd. Junior Correa in 4th. Deaton in 5th. 6th and 7th. Both Alpines looking down on him, especially Kate Tarrier with those soft tires. F1 Fisichella is being put under pressure by Vespa Jupiter.
Oh, very nice overtake there from Tarry into turn 1 on TRC Deaton. And is that going to help Tom Goring to have a look up the inside? He
We
has
have a
bit
yellow
of a
flag
look,
already.
quite enough for him there.
Has to settle behind for just a little while longer. So first lap done and dusted, pretty clean. Nothing major happening. Vapid pulling away from Kislesko already, as well as James pulling away from Vapid himself. Kislesko being put under massive pressure now by Junior Correa. Let's get this nice onboard shot from the Alfa Romeo driver. Showing himself. Ooh, he goes on the grass a little bit, has a slide. This puts Kate Tarrier right on his back. Those soft tires working a treat for the man in the Alpine. And the final corner he goes, he's going to get a good enough traction. Ooh, he saves it barely.
Very much does.
already a decent amount of field spread at the back. There's quite a nice amount, there's quite a big train here for 3rd place.
Yeah, there is indeed, yep. But it's Glasgow managing to defend for the moment at least.
Oh!
In the McLaren, yep, another big slide there, this time from Junior Correa. So far, managing to keep the car out of the wall.
That little slide has cost him some time against Keitaria though. Just look at Keitaria's right up his gearbox. DRS is available, we are on lap 3. Gets really close to Kozlowski, does Junior Correa. Getting closer, 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 and opening up the DRS. The letterbox at the back is wide open of the Alfa Romeo, but they try as Clamby crashes. Clamby has had a crash. I think he spun at the classic spot there at the exit of the chicane. One of the trickiest spots on this racing circuit. Was bound to catch somebody out, and it was Clamby. First man to spin and crash at that point of the track.
Yeah, unfortunately didn't catch what happened, but it is only still a virtual safety car, so should be getting back underway shortly.
That's the first virtual safety car we've had in a long time. Usually was an instantaneous safety car. By this time last week, I think we're already in the 2nd safety car phase. We had 4 safety cars in the first 15 laps of the race, so we reached the limit pretty quickly.
I've heard that
EBI
from Clamby that the wheel and pedals went completely dead. So maybe a software issue there.
Ooh, look at this Keitaria having a look around the outside of Junior Correa.
Tom as well with Deton.
He has to back out of it.
Tom gets up to P6.
Nice overtake from Tom Gorian in the Alpine. Manages to get past as Keitaria has a look around the outside. But what if that? They've spun and they've crashed. Correa is out, but Keitaria is still in this.
That's a safety car.
Not good. That's a full safety car. Yeah, Correa is out of the race. Contact made. Keitaria spinning around the outside. Oh, he's crashed into the back of EBI and he's out. Kirby was off track as well. Keitaria is out after smacking into EBI. Don't know what happened there. His car is spazzing out. So we've already had 3 retirements in the span of 2 laps. We're down to 11 drivers now.
That was a less than ideal moment there from El Keitaria, obviously making the contact with Junior Correa and then obviously hitting the back of, I can't remember which car it was, but he's put himself out the race.
EBI, he's made contact with both Alfa Romeos. I think that one, Junior Correa, nothing he could have done. He was on the inside, the car on the outside spun into him and dragged him into a wall. And that was race over for the man.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, we've
Very
got
unfortunate.
Vapid and Tom using this opportunity to go onto a new set of the hard tyres. So those two have come in and out of the pits and done that, and ABI is onto a set of the softs.
Indeed, that's an interesting strategy call from the Mercedes and the Alpine driver. The only two, I think the 2 cars that don't have teammates. Oh no, James doesn't have a teammate this race either, as well as Vespa Jupiter and Dr. Mo's teammate has retired. So we have 3 retirements. Keitaria once again retiring in the early stages of the race for I don't know how many times this season. Poor guy just can't seem to catch a break. There's always something going on. Really unfortunate for the 2 of them. Unlucky. As Kozlowski.
A few more going into the pits, yep.
James opting to stay out. We're on lap 5 of the 29. And I think Hot can Kirby's in the pits as well. So everyone's in the pits now. With the exception of the top 4. Wing change. Penalty maybe for Kirby, I don't know. Kozlesko's on the hards, Kirby on the softs, Physical on the hards, Vesper Jupiter on the mediums. So the only people to not pit are the top 4. In the form of
interesting
James.
stuff there. Potentially a bit of a mistake not to pit here, but maybe it just wasn't good timing for their strategies. Who knows?
Doing 23 laps on the hards is possible, but pitting in for fresh tyres. Now, if James were to pit in a few laps, extend the stint. Party invite only, by the way.
Oh, and
Yes,
so
it is.
safety car in this lap.
I'll make
So
sure to.
it's-
Wait, did you go on the home? Did you go on the home? Xbox home?
Don't think I don't recall doing so. No.
Right, so let me just safety check. As indeed the safety car does come in this lap. Just safety.
Yep, it's now
Safety
down to Lord
check.
James to define the pace of this race for the next few corners.
He's like quite a few restarts this season. So he's pretty used to it at this point. Through the final 2 corners, let's see when he goes. There you go, he's gone. He's
Oh,
gone already.
he's gone
He's
now, I
already
think.
dropped.
He's caught Deton by a bit of surprise there, I think. Dr. Mo's got a couple cars all over him. A couple cars also going into the pits as well.
Kirby and EBI going to the pits again. Interesting.
Vapid right behind the back of that Williams. And he now goes side by side. Oh my gosh, almost hits the wall, does
Really close
the
there.
Mercedes.
Vapid. Dr. Mo sends it down the inside, trying to defend the position, but doesn't manage to do so. He runs wide. There's a penalty for him at the same time, and Tom Gorian sweeps around the outside, past him quite nicely there. Very audacious move, very brave, but he manages to make it work. Because Lesko's now right behind Dr. Mo. See Vapid. Ooh, Tom and Vapid getting very racy now. Look at that. The Alpine around the outside of the Mercedes looking there. I'm here, he's saying Tom Gorian making his presence known in the mirrors of the Mercedes. A little bit twitchy there. Felt very twitchy, that. But so far so good. There's an overtake. Vesper Jupiter gets past Fisichella. EBI and Kirby quite far behind now because they did pit in when the safety car was coming in. So essentially they've got a pit stop to make up now. Ooh, there's a bit of a slide there for J25 there. The exit of the corner, we just caught that.
Because let's go all over the back of the Williams of Dr. Mo, but he's not gone for it into turn 1.
Oh, now,
That's a
ooh, he's
bit of
got
a
the
mistake
chance.
out
Look
turn
at
1.
Vesper Jupiter though. He's got the massive amount of speed going into that turn 2, but he got boxed in. He had to give up his momentum.
Yeah, he just got a little bit boxed in there.
Had to give it up
Yeah,
there.
fair enough
There's a
racing
yellow
so
flag.
far.
Here's Let's go.
Oh,
No,
it's
Deton. Deton's around. Deton's around. Watch out for the rejoin, Keita. Okay.
Good
Wow.
avoidance there from the quartet of drivers who was falling there. They all
Oh, this
managed
is
to
really
avoid him.
close racing. Because let's go down the inside. And he gets past without DRS aid. Manages to make the move stick. Good job
Vapid's
there
all
from
over the back
Kozlesko.
of the Red Bull of J25 though. He's got a bit of a look up the inside, but he's not quite going to do that.
Oh,
it's
we have a
almost
side-by-side
three wide.
moment there at the back. Ooh, Vesper Jupiter into the back of...
Oh dear.
He sent Vesper Jupiter rammed into the back of Dr. Mo, and that's him out of the race.
It is
And
indeed,
Lord
that's
James,
another
safety car. Lord James comes into the pits. Uses his advantage now. He's got much fresher tyres than the other now. There's much fresher tyres. 4 laps fresher tyres. 21 laps to go. On lap 9. Tires should be able to do that distance. So Jenny now finds himself in a position where he's leading the race. J25. I'm not sure how to spell his name. I may need to ask them after the race. James pits in, but this puts him in a disadvantage now in terms of track position. Because now he's behind all of the guys that already pitted. He's behind Jupiter, he's behind Kozlesko, he's behind Tom and Vapid. And race has gotten a little bit harder for James. Because he's got to make his way past all of these guys. Which I know, first-hand experience, do not give up places very easily. Not at all. So, tuning in, lap 9. This is safety car number 2, third one if we count this virtual safety car we had on lap 3 to 4. Basically, everyone's already done their pit stop. Their mandatory pit stop. Stops. Yeah, everyone's done at least a one stop, except J25 in the lead is still on his starting set of tires from the beginning of the race. Let's actually see. I don't know if the stream quality is good enough, but I think you should be able to look at the steering wheel. For example, now we have Tom Gordon. We can look at the steering wheel and we can see how much fuel he has on board, how his tires are doing as well. And so it's a bit of a fun thing I figured out when doing this camera angle, is that you can see details on the steering wheel, like lap time delta, as well as fuel on board. Looks like Tom has a bit more Vapid has a little bit more fuel than Tom Gorian has on his car, for example. So it's a cool, interesting thing to note.
Yeah, Fisichella pitting there for a set of a little bit scrubbed hard tyres, already done 3 laps in them. And TM Kirby going on to a fresh set of the medium tyres as well.
Obviously hard tyres pitted off of them, I think. Pitted onto softs, and now he's on to mediums again. Kirby now in last place of the still runners, basically. Out of the 10 people that are still racing, he is in 10th. I mean, all he needs to do is finish, and he scores points already. But let's see what he does, as the safety car does get called in at the end of this lap. So we will be under green flag conditions quite shortly. Ooh, J25 breaks quite abruptly there, catching a few people off guard, I think. Vapid had to slam on the iron there to get that car stopped. Warming up the tires very aggressively. We could see the tire temperature is actually not anymore because he's weaving the steering wheel, so we can't see very good what kind of tire temperature he's on, but it seems like he's in just above over 80 degrees. Very aggressively warming up the tire is the man in the Red Bull, who's going to lead for this restart. Let's see when he goes. He decides to go. And he is gone. He's gone already, and we are on the way again. He slides though. Vapid is gonna capitalize on that slightly unsure moment there for the Red Bull. But so far so good still. J25 successfully leads the restart. But I think Tom is a very... As Vapid goes around the outside of J25 for the lead, and he makes the move stick. Tom Gorian follows him, but he cannot. He gets the door slammed shut in his face, and he has to hand that position.
Yep, a very good move there from Vapid to give him the lead, but it's Tom.
Oh, Tom goes there past. Nicely done by the...
Now makes the pass.
Oh, look at James around the outside of Vespa Jupiter. They're very close to the wall, but he manages to stay out of it. James gets past. Oh, there's a huge gaggle of cars going into this corner. Oh, James is very close to Kozlesko. My voice is gone already. James goes down the
Yep.
inside, dives it down the inside and makes him overtake Stick. He's also looking at J25 as well, and he gets past. There you go. As easy as cutting through butter for James, at least.
Yep. So the top 3 in the championship now in the top 3 positions, obviously not in the same order, but they are top 3 nonetheless. But it's now Kozlezko who's going to try and make a move on the Red
Down
Bull
the
of
inside
J25.
Turn 1, and he gets it done nicely, and that opens up an opportunity for his teammate to move around the outside. Oh, they go 3
almost
wide.
gets boxed in there, yeah.
Boxed in. Does he get? Again, Jupiter getting boxed
gone
in.
for the move.
Around the outside, he's forced to go the Red Bull, but loses 2 positions there. So those hard tires, not the youngest anymore. You can feel them. 11 laps on those tires already. So obviously, guys like Tom and
the Red Bull driver getting gobbled up really as EBI now makes the overtake as well, and it's down to P8 for the Red Bull now.
Go on board with Lord James chasing down his 2 championship rivals. Tom Gorian leading the championship in heading into this race. Increased his lead, not by much, but still he managed to increase it over James last week out. This time it does look those four laps of additional freshness of those hard tires for James do seem to be doing the trick quite nicely for him. He's cut through the field like a hot knife through butter, and he's up to 3rd already. DRS is enabled. Vapid still leads this race, so he's going to have to drag these 2 very eager drivers along with him. But look at that, James has closing in, he's closing, but was thinking of a move, doesn't do it, pulls behind, has a little bit of a slide, but he's chasing these 2 quite nicely there. Even slight amount of dirty air, it doesn't seem to affect him at all.
Yep, Tim Curry making a move on J25 into turn 1, and maybe the decision for the Red Bull driver to not pit has backfired a bit as he slipped down all the way to P9.
Ooh, we may see a move for 2nd place in the next few seconds. Doesn't seem like it now.
Between as the 2 McLarens switch positions for P4.
Zikala gets a penalty. Down in 10th place. Kirby up to 8th position. Quite nicely done from the American driving the Italian team AlphaTauri, as my batteries are low, so that's not good to hear. May have to connect my controller in the next few seconds.
Oh, Lord James is tucked right up behind the back of that Alpine of Tom Gorian. Is he going to use a bit of energy maybe to try and get the move done? But it's still nose to tail through the first corner.
Already in qualifying, we could make out that Vapid was very quick down the straight. Lord James has a look down the inside of his championship rival. They go side by side. Tom sticks it around the outside. Turns inside. They make contact. And James is forced off the track, which gives him a penalty. He's not going to be happy about that at all. He's going to be cursing in that cockpit.
Yeah, meanwhile, Tim Kirby trying the overtake on EBI, but not quite coming off for the AlphaTauri driver this time around.
Still seeing a battle for the lead. Yeah, I'm focusing on this one. There's quite a nice scrap going on.
Third
behind.
From Tom.
Tom is gonna be very vulnerable into this corner. Around the outside goes James, and he gets past easily there. Tom doesn't fight it. I think maybe also a little bit of sportsmanship there. Saw him getting forced off. Just decided to maybe not fight as hard and just let him by there. Perhaps because it did seem like a very weak defense there from Tom. And next up is Vapid. Now in the...
James closing the DRS pretty early in the straight there. Maybe not wanting to get too close to the back. But he's getting close now.
Around the outside of the
inside
Mercedes. Here. Let's see what it goes. Oh, Vapid goes on the grass, which costs him a lot. He runs wide and gets a penalty as well. running on the grass has been detrimental. Now Vapid is now being absolutely rushed now by Tom. Tom is all over him now. He's on board with the Alpine. Now he's got a very good exit there. Vapid all out of shape from that. Not very easy to recover from that. A little bit unprepared maybe there for that overtake. And there you
Meanwhile,
go.
Kirby's been able to take P7 away from ABI in that particular battle.
Kirby doing a stellar job. Oh, there's a spin! ABI spins around.
Oh,
And he's reset the track, but I think you're allowed to do that as long as nobody is close to you and you don't endanger anyone. Kirby doing
side by
great.
side into the penultimate corner. That's
Two
Deton going
McLarens.
for a move on Vapid there.
Vapid has dropped off massively. Now he's being put
Deton
under
with
pressure.
the DRS, I believe. Oh, he's made a bit of a mistake out of turn 1, no, into turn 2. And that could give Vapid a bit of respite into turn 3 here.
He's gone board with Kozlesko, the Hungarian in the McLaren, looking onto this battle with popcorn in his hands. Quite possibly. Maybe not. Maybe he's just gonna have to see and catch these two by surprise, because if these two squabble, he's just gonna see if he can fly right. But I think Vapid must have some sort of damage, because he's dropped off massively.
Yeah, he did, I think, go over the curb quite heavily. So maybe that is true.
Maybe while doing contact with Tom. Maybe a little bit of contact with Tom we didn't see. And that overtake. Clipped his wing. Doesn't seem damaged. Doesn't look damaged, but maybe feels. Maybe sometimes it shows that you have damage on your MFD, but it's actually not visible. Now,
Yeah,
like
maybe
it's just
it
like
is
that.
sort of
Yeah.
the underbody or the side of the car.
Let's go. There's a little bit more straight line speed than Vespa Jupiter has.
It's another penalty from Lord James.
James, another penalty. Okay. Oh, interesting. He's got 6 seconds worth of penalties now. And that's going to put a damper on his mood as Jupiter gets really close to the diffuser of that McLaren there. So close, I think he could draw the rear end on that McLaren now with how close he was on paper with his eyes closed.
Oh, he's got a time penalty though.
Jupiter also
Ran
getting a
little
penalty.
bit too wide.
Vapid with the DRS staying close to Deton, who's up to 3rd. Deton obviously showed some brilliant pace last time around at Monza. Won the race on track, but thanks to penalties was demoted down from the top step of the podium. He's going to want to redeem himself today. ABI gets a penalty. See, we have more drivers that have penalties. Actually, we have the same amount of drivers having penalty as drivers not having a penalty. So half the field with penalties already, and James with 2 of them on his name. So all Tom needs to do now is stay within those 6 seconds. As long as he does that.
James is pulling out a bit of a gap on Tom though, so Tom needs to try and prevent that happening any further as J25 speeds into the pit lane. Puts on
not
sensitive
ideal.
mediums.
Vapid goes past.
Vapid gets ahead of Deton.
Gets past Deton quite quickly and quite nicely indeed. I don't know. This is a great scrap for 3rd place. Tom just ahead, just barely ahead there. Wow, just above a second. Let's see the gap to the leader. So theoretically, right as it is now, if the race were to finish now, Lord James would drop down all the way to 6th. As Deton goes around the outside, a beautiful sweep around the outside there from the McLaren driver. Kozlesko's now right up next to Vapid. He's been trying to make a move the last couple of laps. He really wants to get by him, but Jupiter as well is piling on the pressure on Kozlesko as well. So he not only has to look forward, but he also needs to check his rear view mirrors, because that Aston Martin
Oh,
is
Vespa
going into the
Jupiter
pits.
into the pits.
He's gone into the pits. For what reason? I don't know. Maybe damage.
But Vapid making the move down the pit straight. Vapid retakes that P3 on the circuit.
Accidentally switched over. Accidentally pressed the button. So maybe don't know if we didn't catch it. Vapid now a bit further back from Tom. 1.4 seconds is the gap. Tom, the only one of the top 3 to not have a penalty. Gap is 4.1 seconds now, and he's pulled. He's falling behind considerably right now.
He is
Tom.
a bit, yeah. He needs to try and prevent that from happening further. But it's side by side for P3 once again here.
Nice swooper on the inside once again. So these two. Ooh, Vapid goes cuts the corner there. That's 100% another warning for the Scotsman in the Mercedes. As Kirby gets his first penalty of the day. He is up to 6th thanks to Vespa Jupiter pitting. Kirby starting 13th or 12th, I think, is now up to 6th, doing pretty well.
McLaren of Deaton into the pit lane.
Okay. Interesting.
So a few drivers now coming in for another pit stop.
Maybe Taiwan is just really awful on this circuit.
Maybe just trying to cover off the Aston Martin of Vespa Jupiter. It might be close here, in fact, as we can see who's going to come out in front.
Vespa Jupiter is behind, but obviously he's going to have...
But he's going to get a big run. Ooh. Very close. Well avoided. It's J25 who sets the fastest lap of the race so far.
A very awkward corner that is to get out. He does nothing Jupiter or Deaton could have done different.
Side by side for P3 once again, as now Kozlesko takes the position.
Deaton and Vespa Jupiter were going side by side there for a second, so I focused on that one. Because this battle is... They are involved in a battle for P3. And they're losing time like this. If they keep this up, they're losing time. If the two are ahead, will pit again. 3-second time penalty for EBI once more. So I think that's 6 seconds for the man in the Alfa Romeo. Jupiter not able to get past the McLaren. Deaton, brilliant defense. He's gotten his tires up to temperature now, so he can now try and pull away. There you go. Let's focus on this battle. So, Lord James, with 7 laps to go, has pulled out a gap of 5.3 seconds. And yeah, it looks like for now, if he doesn't do any other mistakes, doesn't get any other penalties, he seems to have the win in the bag. Something's happened. Yellow flag. What happened?
Is that Lord James? Lord James
It's James! It's Lord James! He's spun! I just said if he doesn't make any mistakes, he's got the win in the bag. But as soon as I say that, commentators curse. He spins around and that promotes Tom into the lead. He's gonna be smiling under that helmet. He's gonna be celebrating now. But all he needs is but don't celebrate too early. Still got a few laps to go.
Don't want to do a pass for Maldonado.
16 lap old tires. Is he gonna be able to pull another 7 laps out of these?
Oh, but look at that damage on Lord James. He might have to pit here.
He does have to pit. I did see his wing is damaged. Lord James, I said, as long as he doesn't make a mistake.
Yeah, he was... It seems like he was pushing hard because he was increasing that gap and he was almost getting that 6 seconds he needed, but... yeah, he's unfortunately retired.
He's retired. Why would you retire?
And Kirby also comes in.
Kirby goes into the pits. Yeah. I don't understand him retiring, honestly, because scoring points is better than not scoring any. But questionable decision there from James. But like I said, finishing is always better than not finishing. And throwing away potential points that could determine the championship at the end of the season. But As it looks now, yeah,
Right,
unfortunate,
battle for
James.
P2 now. Side by side into the chicane, and Vapid takes that P2, but
Quite
the
nicely
Mercedes
though, but
driver
look at that.
got that penalty to worry about.
Kozlowski's going to have a great run on him now, but he doesn't have the DRS obviously because he's made the overtake at a very smart spot. Oh no, wait, there's only one detection zone. Never mind, I forgot. Double DRS zone, that one.
I think both of there's 2 double zones, I think, so yeah.
Yep, this one, there's only 2 detection points for 4 DRS zones, so it's 2 double zones indeed. You are correct. Kozlowski with a brand new helmet did say was going to run a new one, pink one.
Vector Jupiter almost pushing TRC Deton around the final corner there. Is the DRS going to come in use for the Aston Martin driver?
Doesn't seem
There's
to
some
have
good
enough
straight line speed from the McLaren, to be fair, so it's not quite a foregone conclusion there. Oh, that was some lag there.
Oh, he's running into the back of him. Ooh.
Oh,
Vapid
Vapid's got
another penalty.
penalty.
6 seconds now. Wow,
As well as Vespa Jupiter as well.
Aye, not good. Penalties, guys. Watch out for the penalties. Tom, at the moment, all he needs to do is bring it home. Don't want a commentator curse him. So I'm not gonna look at him for the rest of the race, just in case.
Fair enough.
So Vespa Jupiter's losing a little bit of ground, but we'll focus on this battle right here. We love ourselves some onboard action.
I believe Lord James had some rear wing damage, so that was maybe the influence in the fact that he retired the car.
You can still continue. You can still carry on. You can remove. Yeah, of course you're going to be much slower. You can still go into the pits, get your wing replaced, and remove a bunch of downforce. And like on the MFD, you can set lower amount of downforce on your rear wing, so you can still continue and finish the race and score some decent points. Not finishing at all, that's gonna be it's like throwing in the towel.
It is gonna hurt the championship challenge, for sure. But
oh, EBI's out of the session
retired.
now. Oh, safety car!
Oh,
we have a safety car. Oh, this is going to be very interesting finale of this race. Safety car with 5 laps to go. Tom is gonna be screaming in anger in that cockpit.
The drivers without penalties are surely going to take the advantage here. Obviously that's Tom Gorian and the 2 McLarens of Kozlowski and TRC Deton. So they're going to be the ones to have the advantage here, but who is going to pit?
The question is who's going to pit? Who's going to pit? Who's going to remain? Who's going to stay out? I think nobody. I think everyone's going to have to pit. It's Tom Pitt.
You'd
Tom
expect
Pitts.
so.
Yes,
but
Tom Pitts.
you never know, someone might stay out for some track position. Top 3 for sure are going in to the pits.
Obviously, TRC Deton and Vespa Jupiter who pitted, I think they may challenge for the lead. I think they may challenge for the lead here. No, they also go into the pits. So they decide to go into the pits again. So this leaves Tom Gorian in the lead. 8 drivers left in this race. 25 laps completed with only 4 to go, or 5 including this one. I think the safety car is going to come in pretty quickly. Maybe even at the end of this lap. And if not, maybe quite possibly next lap. But Cal, what would you do if you were in Tom's situation now? You're in the lead. The guy behind you has a 6-second time penalty. And you're on fresh soft with a few laps to go.
I'd probably just be wanting the driver with the penalty to be the one that remains behind, because then even if an overtake from them does come, you're still technically leading the race, so Yeah, obviously you're going to want to try and get a gap, but it's sort of a bit of a buffer knowing that the car behind's got a penalty. But yeah, as we know, anything can happen and probably will happen in these
Yeah,
last few laps.
in the words of Murray Walker, anything can happen in Formula One, and it usually does. And boy, did we have things happen tonight. We've had many retirements, 6 retirements in this race. The latest 2 retirements being EBI, but even bigger, like massive scenes, calamities, which could be potentially championship deciding. Lord James with a retirement after spinning from the lead, almost reaching a safety gap between himself and Tom. Almost had those 6 seconds to cover off his own penalties. But
Yeah,
that's
we
not
obviously
gone well.
we go into the halfway stage of the season after the conclusion of this race. So
Kirby goes wide there and lets the Red Bull by. I'm not too sure if that runs. He ran off the track, so let's see. Don't know what we do about that. We shall see later on. We're waiting for Fisichella to catch up. He should be able to catch them up pretty quickly now. Boy, am I tense. I'm really nervous. I'm not even racing. And I'm looking here, standing here in front of the TV,
yeah,
sweating.
just nervous for the drivers.
What?
So
Yeah.
they'll
What
be
are
feeling
they?
it a lot more.
What are they gonna do? What will happen? What will happen? What's gonna will go down? Will we have a situation like Monza last week where we have a 3 wide moment for the lead? I don't know. And boy, this is exciting, man. Can't wait to go underway. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So lap 26 going to be 27. Just 3 more laps separating Tom and victory around Albert Park. So we're getting those tires warmed up nice and dandy. And he's not gone yet. He's not gone yet. He's biding his time. He's biding his time. He's not going. He's gone now. He's gone. He's gone. And it's go. Final restart of this race. Lap 27. Right now, Vapid chasing the snake being created by Tom Gorian in the lead.
Contact towards
Contact.
the rear.
Kirby is round. Kirby, don't crash into the wall. For the lead. Now, nothing's... Things are still good. Okay, people are still running. I thought something had happened outside my house. Now all good, all good. It's all good. Kirby unfortunately involved in that accident with Vespa Jupiter. Don't know what's going on there, but we'll look at it after the race. Obviously, we're concentrating here with Tom Gorian in the lead, Vapid in second place, but he's got 6 seconds worth of time penalties on his head, which means he's going to drop down quite a bit. I think he might drop down to 6th place.
Could well do it, yeah. Obviously, those 2 penalties, less than ideal for the Mercedes driver, but he'll just have to hope that there is a big enough gap created.
Kirby with another time penalty added to his name as well. 8th place now for the American in the Alpha Tauri. Lap 28. Tom Gorian sets the fastest lap of the race so far. And is that an additional point? Oh, Vapid's had a moment. Vapid's had a moment. Fisichella gets a penalty. Got really close there to Tom, but then lost it on the exit of that. And
Yep, so fastest lap does get an extra point, so that will be good in the eyes of Tom Gorian there.
Tom Gorian trying to aim, going for the full house. Full sweep this weekend. Well, full sweep in the race at least. Still have 2 laps to go though. Things that do seem to have calmed down quite drastically, though. Tom pulling away from Vapid in second. Kozlesko in third. He's going to be promoted up to second place. Deton being put under pressure by Physical on the by J25, sorry. And Kirby still sticking close to the Aston Martin. DRS is enabled, but Tom can manage to get himself out of DRS range. And he does go over it, but now he's under it again. 9/10 of a second. Vapid is doing his damn best to stay there, to get a little bit of help, to improve his position. Even that one extra tenth could determine his finishing position, could improve it by 1 place, maybe, just maybe. Does have DRS from Tom. Kozlesko's dropped down as Vespa Jupiter gets another penalty to his name. Tom going through this chicane. Does it nice and clean. Only a few corners to go. Only a few corners left for Tom Gorian in the Alpine. 2 corners to go. Into the final corner. And Tom Gorian is going to win his first race of the season. And there you have it. Tom Gorian wins with Vapid in second, but he's going to drop down massively now. He's dropped down to 5th. Is he going to stay 5th? He is going to stay 5th. Kozlesko in second, Deton in third, J25 in 4th, Vapid in 5th, Fisichella in 6th, 7th. Ooh, that was close at the end there, I think. Not sure what happened.
Yeah, Vapids took the fastest lap there on the final lap of the race. So an extra point for the Mercedes driver. And Tom Gorian gets driver of the day.
I think I agree. That's well deserved. I do have to agree with the game here. Tom Gorian deserves it. And there you go, have it with the Scottish flag on his shoulders. A double McLaren podium with an Alpine on top. There you have it. Tom Gorian, your winner for today's Albert Park circuit. Funnily enough, ironically, a fun fact, Vapid said yesterday, I predict that Tom Gorian win, and indeed he's predicted it right. And it's time for the champagne, ladies and gentlemen. Because once again, my batteries are low, but there you go, celebrations for the McLaren and Alpine team. But nobody's going to sleep better tonight than Tom Gorian. And there you have it. Halfway through the season, here at Australia, your race winner, Tom Gorian, well-deserved victory there. Started 8th place, finished in 1st. And pretty much ever since James retired, had it in the back. It was calm at the front. And there you have it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Kozlesko in second, Deton in third, J25 in 4th, Vapid in 5th, Fisichella 6th, 7th Kirby goes from 12th to 7th, so very good race for the American man in the AlphaTauri. Vespa Jupiter, the final finisher in 8th place. The rest all retired. And boy, was that was surprising. That was very surprising there. Lots of controversial scenes happening. And a potentially championship deciding moment today.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, a big swing in the championship now, but yeah, you've got to remember that's taken us to halfway through the season, so obviously another 8 races which could all change things again.
You are definitely right. With RFL, you never know what's going to happen. With 10 laps to go, we thought James was going to win this. 1 lap later, Tom is in the lead. James is out of the race. And a few laps later, there's a safety car with Only 3 laps to go towards the end. But Tom prevails. Clean racing. No penalties for him for corner cutting or speeding in the pit lane. So, yeah, there you have it. My draft today, as well, like we said before, Tom Gorian. And I hope you've enjoyed this race. I definitely have. My throat hurts. Been screaming so much today. Yelling down the microphone, obviously not always good. But hey, Cal, I hope you've enjoyed today as well. Is there anything you would like to add?
Thank you all for tuning in, and hope to see you next time around when we go to Qatar.
Yep, Qatar, another interesting circuit, and I'm looking forward to commenting on that one as well. My side, big congratulations to Tom Gorian and the podium setters Kizlesko and Deaton finishing second and third. Big congratulations to those three. Vapid finishing second on track, getting the fastest lap as well. Obviously, a bit of a shame with the penalties, but hey, this is racing. It is what it is. Sometimes it happens to others. Sometimes it happens to you. Also, don't forget Mondays, Papa Champs. We usually 8 p.m. UK time for the round of 10, round of 8. Not too sure. I still don't know for sure how the playoff system works. Catch us there as well. Monday, 8 p.m. UK time. And that's all. We'll see you next week and have a good night. It's bye from me.
And it is goodbye from me.
Bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen. See you next time.